This is cotton cushiony scale, and it's all over our citrus. It's just sort of exploded in the last 4 to 5 days. It's farmed by ants, and they actually bring it in and they harvest the honeydew that's a byproduct of the scale's life cycle. In most cases, if there's not too many, you can just brush them off or hose them off, but you can see down here that they're sort of in everywhere at the moment. This poor old lemon tree. So a job for the morning is excuse me, a job for the morning is getting up and spraying these little buggers out. Horrible to see. I've had a look at the others here, but this seems to be the only one that's so badly affected. One of the things that I've been neglecting a lot in the last 18 months, couple of years, work, coronavirus, variety of different things, the standard pressures everybody has, is that I've sort of let my little potting shed here, my tinkering shed, go to crap. But last day or so, I've been doing a few bits and pieces in here, and part of really re-engaging with my veg and fruit trees and the things I really enjoy is to get back into reorganising this. So I sort of started by getting a lot of the pots back in and back onto this old shelving that I was given. My wife kindly let me have. And this is normally sort of the way that I store my seeds. The seed here, that I've had forever. So to give you an example, this over here you've got some Euchina Savoy seed that I bought from Diggers Club. Wow, years ago. And then gradually I've kept that plant, and the last time that I kept seed was from 2017. So I use these old angle grinder wheel containers as they're really good seed cases, nice, sealed tightly, so they're good. But today, one of the things I've got to get done is clear all this out, get some planting done. I'm behind in that. But yeah, that's one of the goals. I ordered this seed from AB Seeds. They're in Queensland, so by all means, go and check them out. I ordered these in to sort of refresh things back in July, and then put everything on the shelf. So some of these things which I really did need for summer, so I'm pretty certain I'll be able to get the pumpkin, some Jap pumpkin there, definitely the lettuce, and the cucumbers I'll probably be able to get started, probably a bit of late zucchini, obviously the purple sprouting broccoli is kept for later in the year. But yeah, that's definitely one of the goals. I want to get some more spring onions in, some radish, some beetroot, just those kind of things, and then gradually go back to only using organic seed. But the aim at the moment is just to get some food on the table, and we'll start from there. With the rain stopping, I've got a little bit of white oil here that I've stored away for the last batch that I used, and it still looks okay. I've got some cottony, it's gone completely out of my head now, some cottony scale on our citrus out the front, which I have been ignoring recently, so I'm trying to get them back on their feet. Got myself a small 2 litre cheap sprayer. I find when you're using oils and things that unless you're really diligent with cleaning them, you can block these up really quite quickly. So I'm going to make up a couple of litres of white oil. So basically, I guess everybody knows the recipe. It's about a tablespoon to every litre, so a couple of tablespoons worth in this container. We'll mix this up and see if we can get those little buggers off the tree. Okay. Our white oil is done. Time to go and get some spraying done. As you can see, really wet and windy just recently. A lot of older fruits just dropped here, so I need to get that cleaned up. But yeah, the scales sort of, I've gone through and done a lot of hand related removal, and damaged a lot of them. But you can see it's pretty much spread through the tree, and they've done a lot of damage while I haven't been paying attention. So we'll give it a spray. Weather's not the best for it, but can only try. Here we go. Moments of truth. We're pretty much all over. So we'll give everything as much as a spray, basically over the whole plant, and then see how that goes. So here I've got, I've just made up this little tray here of seeds from these two packets. There's an older packet of radish, a variety called Cherry Bell, and Perfect 3, a beetroot. Perfect 3 I've used around here before, and it does really quite well. It's a mixture of the two. I'm going to put them in an old round raised bed, corrugated iron bed, that we had some garlic in up until recently. I'm not going to do a great deal to the soil, but what I am going to do is actually top dress the bed with compost from the compost cone that we got close by to that bed, and we'll see how it goes. The amount of rain that we've had, about 5 or 6 mils so far. I'll have a look in the rain gauge in a minute, but I haven't soaked the beetroot seed. A lot of people do that the night before they plant it to help with germination, but I think the surrounding soil is quite wet and I think they'll go well. So this is the bed that I'm going to be using to put the beetroot and radish seed in that I showed you a little while ago. As I said, there's been a lot of green matter buried in this. It has had a crop of garlic through it that grew really well. A bit of lettuce before that, so I'm expecting the soil will be a little bit hungry, but I want these root crops to dig down a bit. We use radish like a potato. We roast them a lot, and a really nice dish, rosemary, salt, they're beautiful. So I'm going to get these in, and then we'll grow a bit of compost, and I'll show you how that cone's going there as well. Alright, let's get this in. It's just going to sort of be pretty liberal here. I'm going to go through and fill gaps with extra seed when there's a bit of an opportunity, or where I'm seeing there's a spot where not much has decided to come up. I like this kind of gardening, sort of like a little bit of randomness about it. Yeah, it's sort of, I think it helps. You sort of get a sense of what goes well where, how dense some things can grow. Where these Perfect 3 beetroot seed were growing last year, they were in a blue tub, very similar to this one here. Really dense, and we got some roast beetroot out of that. We got a couple of jars of pickled beetroot out of that, so I was really happy. So I'm looking forward to that beetroot. I might even actually do a video about getting that jar open, because I'm trying a new recipe there. But let's go over here and have a look at the compost. So this cone, this is one of the composting methods we use here. Basically, this has been sitting for over a year. It's had a mixture of pelletized wooden cat litter that I've said I've used before in previous videos. I'm really lucky. We've got a good friend who owns goats, sheep, and alpacas, and we use a lot of their birthing stall straw, which our friend Beck kindly gives to us. So there's a bit of that in here, and of course all your kitchen scraps and things. So it comes up with a really good mix. So that's basically what we're going to use in the top of this bed today. So I'm going to get some of that and we'll go back to the bed. So there we are, watered, the sun's come out. Perfect time for them to start germinating. We're getting a little bit more warmer weather. In fact, it's going to be back up to 30 degrees here by midweek. So I'd expect these will be coming out of the ground. I reckon I'll be seeing the radishes when I get home from work, probably around Thursday or Friday this week. So I'll update you on that later on. So now I'm setting up this bed with a hoop cover, just a couple of pieces of Rio bar, metal bar I've been put into the edges of the bed, and this polypipe hoop over the top. And now to fit a bit of netting. Just the biggest problem we have here with setting up seed beds is birds. They're just scattering your new seed plantings everywhere. Okay though, so there we have it. That should keep the birds off. Long enough for everything to get established. So I'll update you all on this as time goes on. For those of you who've watched, thanks for watching, and see you next time.